There is another type of adult stem cell that your listeners might hear about. It's called, hold on to your hats, induced pluripotent stem cells. Okay, and that's why we say IPS cells. They're kind of an intermediate. You grow them by taking just an ordinary cell like a skin cell. You put it in the dish and you can treat it in certain ways that it starts to look and act like an embryonic stem cell. But it didn't come from an embryo. You didn't have to kill anybody to get this kind of cell. So, you can do any of the experiments. In fact, you can do more experiments than an embryonic stem cell with an IPS cell. The guy who developed that, Dr. Yamanaka from Japan, got the Nobel Prize in 2012 for developing this. You can take a cell or a tissue from virtually any patient. You can take cells from patients that have a disease and study the disease in the dish. And you can use them also to do it, and this is kind of a geek thing, but what are called organoids. Now, they're not a full-sized organ, but the cells, the IPS cells, will come together and start to recapitulate normal development. And you can get beating heart cells, you can get nerve cells, you can get kidney cells, but not just in a dish, flat, like in a Petri dish. They actually will form aggregates and clumps that start to act just like the normal organ. So there are a number of them. I had a list here that I called the organoid recital. They were able to take some and form basically the inner part of the ear that would be associated with hearing. And they could put these things together and study them, but they could actually restore the hearing in mice that had lost their hearing. They can make what are called cerebral organoids. Basically, they don't look like brains, but they are little collections of nerve cells of different types in a dish. They can make little miniature hearts, even multi-chambered hearts in the dish using these cells and study, how does development happen? What happens to cause abnormal development? What happens if you've got a genetic condition? Is there a way that you can come up with, studying it there in the dish, to be able to come up with a way to ameliorate the problems?
Could that be used to do like surgery on unborn children or something to fix maybe a heart defect or something like that?
Yep. And so making maybe not a whole heart at first, although eventually they may get there, but they've already been able to develop heart valves that they can grow in the dish and then do the transplant even in utero. I mean, a lot of these things can be done prenatally and start to treat them, very early in the womb.